Hello, and thanks for watching. If you use V-Lookup, you're well aware of its usefulness. However, most of the time we're matching or looking for an exact match, so we're using the false argument. In this short video, I'll go over some useful ways to use the true argument where we don't need to find an exact match. This is an example of a simple aging table, where a company's summarized accounts receivable are aged into categories based on how long the amount's been outstanding. The table occupies the range A5 through B8, while the formula resides in B2. The formula refers to A2, and since 51 is entered, the formula returns 31 to 60 days. The formula with the true argument doesn't find an exact match. Provided column A is sorted ascending, it will look down the column and return the result by the next lowest number, which in this case is 31. So let's see, 51 is greater than 0, so move to the next row. 51 is greater than 31, so move to the next row. Wait a sec, 51 is less than 61, so go back up a row, and the result is 31 to 60 days. I have several examples of how practical this functionality can be. The first one is what you saw on the previous screen, an accounts receivable aging table. The data in columns A through C is 250,000 rows of pretend receivable information with the customer, the number of days outstanding, and the amount. The aging table is in columns F and G. As I mentioned previously, the table must be sorted ascending. Another important item to note is that I have keyed the minimum number in each range into the leftmost column of the lookup table, the column that must be sorted ascending. To save some time, I've already entered the formula in column D and copied it all the way down. Note that we can also use in the formula a 1 for a true or a 0 for a false. That is, if you are a save the keystroke kind of person. Now that we have the data categorized, we can create a pivot table aging report very easily by clicking in the body of the data, choosing Insert, Pivot Table. We've confirmed that it's picked up the entire range. Select OK. I'm going to want the payer in the row, the category in the column, and the amount as the value. Now those numbers are a little bit hard to read, so I'm going to reformat it by selecting Value Field Settings, Number Format, Accounting. No need to see the pennies, we'll just go with whole dollars. No symbol, we click OK, OK again, and the numbers are a lot easier to read. Now, in reality, you probably wouldn't want that much outstanding over 91 plus days. However, bear in mind, this is not real data. The next example is a tax table. I obtained these rates from Forbes.com and created the table by keying the minimum number in each bracket into the table in the leftmost column. The formula then looks up the bracket based on each individual's income in column B. Again, in this example, I'm using a 1 in the formula instead of the term true. The final example where I might not need to find an exact match is school grades. In this lookup table, you'll find 0 to 59 as an F, 60 to 69 is a D, etc. And of course, 90 to 100 is an A. The pretend students are in column A, their percent correct is in column B, and the formula in column C pulls in the grade. In conclusion, There are a number of situations where, when using V-Lookup, you don't necessarily want an exact match. If this is something you think you would use repeatedly, I would set up a template or a permanent file with your time-tested lookup table already in place. Then, when the new data arrives, just replace the old data with the new and make sure the formula extends all the way to the bottom. One other point. These examples all used whole numbers. If you have a need to be more exact or to use decimals, I would experiment with decimals in the left column of the table to make sure the result is what you want. The best thing to do is to make it correctly once, save it, and then use it repeatedly. That's it for V-Lookup True. Thanks for watching.